Hey everybody, Pat Petrini here, and coming to you today from Seattle, or not Seattle, actually next door. We're in Bellevue, Washington, here for the Summer Surge event that's going on, one of the largest events happening all summer. And critical to attend these types of events, hear from the top leaders, and anytime you go to an event like this, it just charges you up, and I always walk away with all sorts of new ideas and things that I need to be focusing on with my team. But anyway, that's not actually the topic for the video I wanted to do today. I actually wanted to do a message really geared towards my generation, those of you who are in your 20s and 30s or that are just getting this business going. And because there's some challenges associated with building this business and being a younger, in your 20s or 30s. There's also some advantages that eventually come, but there's some challenges initially, and there's some mistakes that I see, some common mistakes that I oftentimes see younger people make. So I thought we'd kind of cover those. First off, the number one mistake that I see young people make in this business is they only talk to other young people. And it's something we've covered in other topics. It has to do with that whole thing about getting out of your comfort zone. And people that are in their 20s will tend to only talk to other people that are in their 20s, because that's kind of their peer group, that's where their comfort zone is. And it's a little bit uncomfortable to contact people that are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Even if you think they're great candidates, very successful, we oftentimes kind of create that self-doubt where we don't think they'll listen to us, or we don't think that they'll take us seriously or something like that. Even if we don't consciously think that, that's going on in our unconscious, our subconscious, and we don't even put the name down on our list. So that's a really big thing, not just going after younger people. Now, I'm also not saying don't go after younger people. Young people are great also. There's lots of young entrepreneurs out there. But I will say, and this is just my opinion, that probably if you did a cross section of XanGo, you would probably find that the people that respond to what we're offering, the percentages probably increase as you move up the ages. Probably more people in their 30s respond than people in their 20s. Probably more people in their 40s respond than people in their 30s. And my just guess at that is that probably the product becomes more relevant to people, that because as they get older, they've got more and more health issues, so our products become a little bit more relevant. I would also guess, and again, this is just kind of my thinking, is that if somebody's been in a job for longer and they've had that much time to sit and think about how much they hate having a job, they might be that much more motivated to jump on board with something like this. So again, definitely not saying to not go after young people, but really be selective. Go after the people that are showing signs of really wanting to change their life, that are showing signs of being entrepreneurial and being industrious. And then also make sure you're diversifying the people that you are talking to, and you're not just sticking to your own age group. So that's one of the common mistakes that people make. One of the challenges, we kind of touched on it briefly, is the credibility issue. That's one of the challenges that comes with being younger and building this business, is that especially when we step out, actually I would say outside of our age group and inside of our own age group, we have a lack of credibility. And that, everybody starts off with that, but it's probably even a little bit more so the younger you are. But you can overcome that credibility issue. You can absolutely overcome that credibility issue if you lean on the team and you lean on the system. And so, because all you need to be is the connector. It's perfectly okay just to be the connector, be the messenger. You're just saying, hey, there's something over here that I see is significant, and I'd like you to check it out. And you connect them, to the system and connect them to the team. rather than you talking about why you think it's so good, because again, you might lack credibility in their eyes. Don't talk about why you think it's so good. Talk about how incredible your team is, how incredible these people are that you're working with and what they've accomplished, and that you're so honored to be able to be working with them and to be coached by them. And would this person be open to connecting to the people in your team and hearing from them, hearing why they think this is significant, introducing them to the system so that they can see that the system works, so that's really important, and that's exactly what my mentor, Bob Schmidt, when I got into this, what he taught me to do is just pick out the people that I wanted to share this with and connect them to the team, connect them to him, connect them to the system, and in a sense, I didn't recruit these people, the team and the system did. So utilize that, because it's very, very powerful, and you can bring on any caliber of person if you properly use the team and the system. So last thing I'll mention here is the silver lining, I guess, of being younger and building this business. There's some challenges, some common mistakes, but the silver lining is that, and this is something I learned from Cindy Samuelson, just a great concept for life, is that every advantage that you have will ultimately work against you in some way or another, but also every disadvantage that you have, if you'll work to overcome it, it'll ultimately work in your favor. And what I mean by that in this example is that if you'll push through it, if you can overcome any disadvantages that we have being younger and wanting to build this business, it'll ultimately work in your favor. While you may suffer from a lack of credibility at the beginning, once you work through that and you start building yourself a paycheck and building yourself some credibility, building yourself a team, then everybody will look at you and say, well, gosh, if that kid can do that, then I can definitely do that. And the candidates that you're sharing this with will say that, your team's candidates will say that, and I've certainly had a lot of people that have said that, when looking at the moderate amount of success that I've had with this business so far, and that's great. I want people to see that. I want people to say, hey, if he can do it, I can do it. And people will say that same thing about you if you can push through that obstacle of having lower credibility. So anyway, hope you found it valuable. Probably have a lot of great stuff to share with you after this weekend, so I will see you next time. Thanks.